we take this tarp over here and wrap it around so that it does have walls. What did Rabbi teach you about the top? Right, it has to, we use something called schach, which is the, we use palm fronds here because that's what we have, but you can use anything. There's a certain percentage of the roof that has to be covered, but you also have to be able to see the stars. Now, what was the commandment that we read in the Torah? Was it just to eat in the sukkah? It said live, right? So when the blessing that we'll say, and Rabbi taught it to you, Leshev Basukah, means to dwell in the sukkah. Now, what the commandment has become, right, I guess the minimum, would be to eat at least one meal in the sukkah. But you do have many people who will sleep in the sukkah either for one night or for every night of Sukkot. So this is one example of how you could build a sukkah at home. If you're not as handy as me and Rabbi Bernholtz, and still want to do it, and there are, if you go online and search do-it-yourself sukkah or sukkah kit, there are sukkot that are, you know those tents where you like pull it out and it really ends up looking pretty much like this? They sell those that are made to be a sukkah. They also sell kits that are pieces like this, maybe metal, maybe pipe, but it already comes with all the pieces together and all the connectors. It really is an easy thing to do. It really is something that everyone can do at home. Even if you don't have a yard, right? Did Rabbi, I've heard that story, I don't remember it 100%, but technically a balcony, it can only be built on a balcony if you have open space above you, right? But if all you have is a balcony and there's a roof above you, I'll go ahead and build a sukkah. You have my permission, okay? Or if you have access to your roof, find out. There are lots of ways to do it, and it really is a cool tradition and not such a hard one. We do have the sukkah at the synagogue, and we hope that people will come eat in ours when we get to that time as well. Any questions about the sukkah itself? No? The other, did Rabbi talk about Simchat Torah? So it just so happens that at this time, we're also at the time in our, we're also at the time where we're finishing the Torah, right? We read the whole Torah every year. So it just so happens that at this time of year that we're celebrating Sukkot, we're also finishing the Torah. So the 8th day, which is Shmini Atzeret, has also become what's called Simchat Torah, which means the joy of Torah. And that's when we finish the book of Deuteronomy and begin the book of Genesis. It happens in one day. At one service, we read both the end of the Torah and the beginning of the Torah. In Israel and in Reform Judaism, those happen together on the 8th day. So the two Yom Tovs would be the first day and the 8th day, 7 days of Sukkot. The 8th day is Shmini Atzeret / Simchat Torah. That's in Reform Judaism and in Israel. In conservative and Orthodox outside of Israel, right, the first 2 days of Sukkot are a Yom Tov, and then the Shmini Atzeret is a Yom Tov, and then the 9th day is Simchat Torah, which is also a Yom Tov. Okay? So you're going to see that the Schaarai Zedek will celebrate Shmini Atzeret / Simchat Torah on the 8th day. Rosh Sholem will have Shmini Atzeret on the 8th day and Simchat Torah on the 9th. The other tradition with Sukkot, there's a word that I think is on your term sheet that's called Ushpizin. It's also a great movie. Ushpizin means guests. It comes from the idea that, of course, right, this screams out having people over, right? You have this booth in your yard, you're commanded to eat in it. Of course we're going to invite friends over. Ushpizin is a mystical service where you don't just invite your friends over, you also invite Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, invite these 8 great men from our history, and then there's an egalitarian Ushpizin, which includes Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Leah, Deborah, I don't remember. So you'll see in some Sukkot they'll actually have pictures of the Ushpizin up. There's a service for Ushpizin. You probably wouldn't see it so much in the Reform world, but I do like to ask people, if you were going to invite anyone to your Sukkah, who would it be? So the Ushpizin is something to hear about. I got Lulav, Etro, Sukkah, Ushpizin. I think we're good. Any questions about Sukkot, Shmini Esrei? Also on Sukkot Torah, it's customary to take all the Torahs out of the Ark of the synagogue, to parade with the Torahs. In a traditional service, it would be 7 times around, and there are different songs and poems that are said with each hakafa, is the Hebrew word. Here, we read his names for a little while. Okay? Good. Next week, we take a break from the holidays, start looking at life cycle. We pick up with holidays again after the High Holy Days, but we've now gotten you through the beginning of the Jewish calendar. If you have other questions in here, otherwise see you next week. Yep. We were going to build the sukkah tonight, but when we were putting it together to make sure we had all the pieces, we